I am Ijan Tingai from Group 2, and our group will continue the material Chapter 5 English Syntax. So I will be the first person and I will do explanation the first material for you. The first material is word classes and phrase. You can see in your books. Word classes and phrase are very closely linked. First of all, a phrase is named after the word class that acts as head of the phrase. A head is a word upon which everything in the phrase is centered. In a phrase such as full of hope, for instance, all parts of the phrase are associated with the adjective full. Mm, so, to describe both word classes and phrase, the discussion will focus on two more important phrase types, noun phrase and verb phrase. Okay, first, noun phrase. All noun phrase in or NPS are centered on either a head noun or pronouns more on pronouns later in this section. One key characteristic of nouns is the most exhibit number. So let's see table 5 and 1 illustrates not all nouns fit into the pattern. Nouns have traditionally been distinguished as being a count or a count. Count nouns are literally countable. We can think of a table as either a single one or plural or more than one entity. Although most count nouns take the regular plural endings, some like ox takes an irregular plural endings oxen. You can see the table. The plural singular goes, for instance, become plural pieces. Typically, the example in this category prefer from going back to Old English and ended a number of nouns during this era. The vowel change resulting from the process of umlauting. We are common too. We common too. Number can also be marked by first singular and plural from borrowed from other languages, the endings on singular criterion and plural criteria. Sometimes borrowing of these types will have both regular and irregular from concerto was borrowed into English from Italian and can either be pluralized with English is as concertos or Italia e concerti. Second, no over plural marker at all one dear to dear. Occasionally, nouns in this category will have a regular plural form too. For distance, biology often use fishes rather than fish. The last, no singular, but only a plural form, e.g., scissor, but no scissor. The forms are generally found on the object having two parts, such as the two blades on the pair of scissors or the two legs or pair of pants. There are also non-count nouns which makes no distinction between a singular or plural form. Thus, it is possible to talk or furniture, which would include a group of items such as child, churches, beds, or etc. Noun can also be marked by various suffixes. For instance, the suffix ion can be added to verb to form an abstract noun called a nominalization. Example, greet to greeting or fascinates to fascination, or use er, or or. Example, white to wider, act to actor. Okay, personal pronouns in English, which can also serve as the head of a noun phrase, make this distinction not found on noun. Let's see table 5 and 2. List the various form the personal pronouns takes in English. Person, the first person, the second person, and the third person. You can see, like a nouns, most personal pronouns, with the exception of you, are marked for number, singular, she, plural, them. The pronoun you is quite anonymous in this regard. It's appeared to be marked only for plural number because it always takes verbs. The example is, and you are Mr. Douglas. However, however, in the example above, you is clearly being directed toward a single individual. In the early periods, English did have both a singular and plural form, but over time the distinction was lost. To explicitly pronounce you in modern English, it's only possible to use uh, circumlocution such as all of you. Plural form of you do exist, but in restricted contexts, you all in southern varieties of American English and US in some non-standard phrase of English. Pronoun makes many more distinction than nouns. You can see pronoun have the three person. First person pronoun are directed toward the speaker or writer. Second person pronoun toward the addresses, and the third person pronoun to someone or something being discussed. First and third person pronoun have subjective and objective form. The second person pronoun you does not. The subjective form the used when the pronouns are functioning as subject of a clause. The example is, I like pizza. She joked daily. I and she is first person. The objective form and when the pronouns are functioning as object in a clause or a object of proposition is like my mother called us. The burden of proof is on them, so us and them. All pronouns have reflexive and possessive form. Reflexive form refer back to a co-referential nouns or pronoun. Indefinite pronouns such as someone or none occurs only in the third person and have only a single form. Unlike first and second person pronoun, they do not change form in the subject or object position. You can see the diagram below schematics some common form classes according in noun phrase and their position relative to the head noun. You can see the diagram. The first position in the noun phrase contains a class of words called determinative or underslone and polum, which are part of determinative phrase. The words include the article a, and the demonstrative this, that, des, those. Indefinite pronouns example all, every, most, many, and cardinal numbers example 1, 2, 3. The second position, if the noun phrase contains the determinative phrase, is accompanied by adjective phrase which immediately precede the head nouns, like noun adjective, and sometimes be indicated by the suffix that they contain degree. Adjective that can be measured on a scale that are one or two syllable in length will have comparative and superlative form ending in respective. Example er and es, small and smaller. and smallest. An adjective that later will take more or most instead beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Adjectives also sometimes have suffix found only on adjective such as icy, the example electrics, fantastics. In the example in the diagram above, the adjective phrase consists of a single adjective. However, it is also possible for adjective phrase to contain more than one adjective as is the case with quick and just, preceding victory and example below. Example is, it was in the US government interest to present desert storm and quick and just victory. The final position in the noun phrase which follow the head noun. Noun can optionally contain either a prepositional phrase or a relative clause, a type of clause discussed in a later section on subordinate clauses. Unlike in edited, preposition cannot usually stand alone but recall an object, typically a noun phrase such as the hill, in on the hill, but also clause. The example is it's play a key role in keeping city streets on the move and is even the object of the best modern designer design. The second example, so we can have this idea of how well they are closing and opening. The semantic classes in which prepositions can be classified are quite complex. Two of the more basic meanings that prepositions express are time and location. In on the hill, on specific location. In other contexts, however, it can express time, on my bit there. Okay, and let's see table 5 and 3. Table 5 and 3 contain some example. Of course, this is a mere sampling of the various idiomatic combinations represented in the table. Per preposition combinations are so common in English that they are sometimes referred to as phrasal verb or prepositional verb. One difference between the constitution is that while the preposition can be moved in a partial verb, example is I have got to take down all the wallpaper. Take all that wallpaper down. In a prepositional verb, it cannot. She looked at Ethel, who had secured a notebook and pencil. She looked Ethel at. In prepositional, it cannot.